Thanks for joining in on another Paint With Me video for the theme month of Games Workshop. This is none other than Merry from the game Lord of the Rings Quest to Mount Doom. He is the last hobbit that we are painting in this series because we already painted Frodo, Sam, and Pippin. Now we're on to Merry. Then after that we're going to start going on to the larger characters to paint. And as well as if you're staying on for this whole theme month, you'll be able to see us play Lord of the Rings Quest from Mount Doom 2 as well, which is going to be another video installment for the theme of Games Workshop month. So without further ado, let's just start painting this guy up, this hobbit, and continuing on. First color we're going to start off with is we are going to start off with Uriel Yellow. It's in the Citadel line, it's a layer paint, and we are going to be painting Merry's hair and his inner vest there too as well. So Uriel Yellow, and we're just going to continue starting to paint. And for this, again, I'm using my Insane Detail Wargamer Army Painter brush. It's not on camera. There we go. So first off, we're going to paint his vest and then his hair, and we're going to continue on from that. So hopefully, just hopefully, this tutorial, or not tutorial, this painting series has been helpful to you, at least entertaining, because that's important, because entertaining is great to have. Be entertained, and if anything, this is going to create some background noise while you're doing your own painting, like I said. Very easy. This Uriel Yellow is not diluted in any way. It's pretty much straight out of the pot. See there. And if you've been following, you know that I like painting miniatures, make them look a little bit dirty, and that's kind of what I'm doing with this. Is I'm planning on making him dirty as well, because Merry's a dirty hobbit. Well, rough and tumble kind of hobbit, I guess I should say. Not a dirty hobbit, but he's rough and tumble. He's very curious about everything, and just that's what he does. So you can see that I'll probably throw one more layer onto him, and then I'm going to paint his hair. You can see his hair got like a lot of detail into it, so I have to be very careful not to get on his skin tone. I can wipe it off if I do, but hopefully I won't get any skin tone yellow onto his skin tone, because he's not yellow. He is a hobbit, so he has flesh tone. And again, I base this out into Army Painter's flesh tone. I can't exactly recall what the name of the color is, but it is some sort of flesh tone that I painted this in. And the reason, again, is because I hate painting flesh, because I'm not really that great at it. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? And what I'm going to do is other painting tutorials. I'm going to be painting some flesh tone, obviously, and you'll see why I don't like painting flesh tone. If you have any tips, like I said, on how to paint flesh tone, by all means, just comment down below and let me know, because I'd love to know what your thoughts are about painting flesh tone, how you approach it. It's just because I'm going to learn from everybody who's commenting onto this video, because it's great. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, painting tutorials on how to paint miniatures and everything else. So, you know, and they all help, and I appreciate everybody who puts them on YouTube so that I can watch them. And if you have some specific painting tutorials that you would think that I would benefit from watching, by all means, comment down below, put the link into it, and say like, hey, this is what you should do. Or just send me an email at boardgamemaniacs@gmail.com and let me know, like, send me the link that way, because then I will be able to follow it and, you know, see, because I want to improve my painting skill, because I do enjoy painting. It's very relaxing, and the more I do it, the more relaxed I get, and hopefully the better I'm going to become at it. So that is it. And so please comment down below, send me emails. I appreciate it all. Now you can see there that I painted the Uriel yellow. I kind of got it on his jacket, but it's not a big deal because we're going to be painting over it anyhow. And if you're wondering, he's holding a rock, just like Mary was holding, but Mary was kind of holding it up like he was going to throw it. And he's just holding it. It's like, okay, well, Mary's throwing it, so I'm just going to, or Pippin's throwing it, so I'm just going to hold it. Because this is Mary, the other one was Pippin. I got to keep getting this straight. So that's it for the Uriel yellow. I'm going to leave it dry, and then I'll probably just throw one more coat onto it if I have to, just for safety's sake. It's off camera a little bit, but there you go. That is it. You can see right here a little bit, just to add a little bit more, but that's why you put more than one coat onto it sometimes, so that, you know, you can fill in all the little spot pieces that you missed and so on. So there we go. We'll continue on with the next one, and we will paint his pants next. Yeah, pants. Correction there, instead of painting his pants next, I'm going to go on and I'm going to paint his jacket, which is a green, and it's going to be Lauren Forest is the color that I'm going to be choosing to paint it. And the reason why that I'm going to paint his jacket first is looking at the picture that's on the back of the manual for the game. His pants and his cloak are both brown, so because of that, I want to get, so I don't have to paint his pants and go to the vest and go to the cloak. I'm just going to paint his cloak or his jacket first with the green, because that's the only color that he has on him that is green, is his jacket. So that's what we're going to do, just to try and, you know, like save some time here. You know, instead of having to keep switching the paint colors around all the time, get that all of what's need to be painted with that one color done. And then from there, continuing on from that. There you can see the green is all painted with the Lauren Forest for his jacket. I had to cut it short there. My phone was vibrating. I didn't want to interrupt with the audio of the camera, so I did it. And, you know, I just painted the rest of it off camera. You can see it's all done. So now we're going to jump over to the brown. And the brown I'm using is Rhinox hide. See there, Rhinox hide. And with Rhinox hide, we're going to do his pants, the hair on top of his feet, his cloak, and also he has a backpack on, but the straps are there. And in the manual, it shows that it don't show the back of the miniature, but it does show the front. And the straps are painted the same color brown as what the pants are, and the cloak too as well. So we're just going to continue on with that. And you can see there, just the back of it, the little bump here is his backpack. It's apparently underneath his cloak. So you can't see the backpack anyhow, it's just a bump from underneath it. And that's it. We're just going to paint the pants and the cloak with that, with the Rhinox hide. So I got my Rhinox hide out. I got it all shaken up. And this is going to be, you know, it's pretty easy. Just try not to mess it up. That's the whole thing, is I got to try not to mess it up. And then after we're done painting this, it's going to go on to the sword and then the rock. And then it's going to be the wash. And then just some highlighting stuff. The hobbits, they're not difficult to paint. Like the colors are, they don't have like a ton of colors onto them, which I'm appreciated about, because I'm kind of off camera there. I'm just painting kind of underneath his leg right here. But yeah, like they don't have a ton of different colors, which is good. I'm happy for that, because the less colors, the less time spent to try to, you know, paint it all up. Now remember, I'm painting his cloak the same color as his pants, so I don't have to be so delicate when I'm painting around there, because his cloak kind of is hanging between his legs in the back, so pretty easy. Just go ahead and just paint away with this here. You can see So what I'm going to do is I'll paint the cloak, finish it off camera, and then I'll be back and I'll show you what it looks like. There you go. All of the rhinox hide is painted, so the tops of hair on the top of his feet, his cloak, and his pants. Just turn it around. It's still it's still drying, but I'm going to continue on anyhow and keep painting. So I'm going to paint his sword now, and I'm going to paint it with roofing steel. Can't really see it because there's paint on the lettering, but it's the same type of paint that I use when I painted all of the other hobbits' weapons, I should say, plural. So yeah, I'm just roofing steel. Excuse me, and I'm going to paint the handle of his sword too as well. I'm just going to paint that with a black, I'm thinking, just to make it easy. And I don't have to show you how I paint that because it's pretty straightforward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish painting this. I'm going to paint his rock with Drawstone. I think it's called Drawstone Gray, but it's just called Drawstone, but I'm calling it Drawstone Gray. You can see there. There it is there. I'm going to paint that, and then when I'm all done with this, before I do the wash and it's dry, I'll come back. I'll show you the wash. Now, one thing I'm going to do too as well off camera, like I did when I painted Pippin, is that I'm going to do his base off camera, like putting the sand and the PVA glue. If you're not sure how that is, just watch the first or second tutorial or the Paint With Me video that I painted Frodo and Sam, and it'll explain the process and how I did the base. And when that's all done, I will be back with you momentarily. He's all dry, and you can see that I added the sand and painted it with the Drawstone Gray onto his base. You see all the texture, everything is dry. So now we're going to go on with the shade. And just like previously, I'm using Recklin Flesh Shade for the skin, and then Agrax Earth Shade for the clothing, and Nolan Oil for the base. And with the Recklin Flesh Shade, I mix it again with about 70% shade and about 30% water. So we're on the same page. And if you find that, you add a little, it's looking a little too dark, it is going to run down in that, but you could just clean off your brush and then just kind of go over it just to wipe some stuff away. Very easy. And continuing on, we're just going to do his hands. On camera would be great. So his hand there, and this hand here, just like that, and also his feet and legs. Spit him around, get his heels. So again, that is the Recklin Flesh Shade that I got onto him, 70% with 30% water. And now we're going to go to the Agrax Earth Shade. And with the Agrax Earth Shade, I'm not diluting it. I'm just keeping it 100% straight out of the pot. Just like so. And just putting on everywhere else, except for his skin and that, obviously. And because I want him to be dirty, just like all the other hobbits, I'm kind of putting a lot onto him. Just like this. And again, just painting, painting, painting. Pretty simple stuff. It's not rocket science or anything like that. Now, I'm also going to use the Agrax Earth Shade onto his hair undiluted again. But I'm trying to avoid it going down onto his skin. But if it does, like, it's not going to really do that much damage to it, but it's good just to try and keep it so that you know, it's, his face is going to be dirty, obviously, but it's, you don't want it to be like totally filthy. Dirty. Again, just painting it on everywhere. Making sure you get it underneath. And that's it for the shade for the Agrax Earth shade. And now I'm just going to grab the Nuln Oil. Give it a quick shake there. You can see. And I'm going to go on the base with it. And just be aware, like I said previously, when I did these same steps, is you're going to see some of the spillage going on, but it's not going to hurt because it is like a kind of like a rough stone ground, so you know, you could have different variations in colors. It's going to be okay. No big deal whatsoever. You can see where I'm totally just mucking it on like a lot. It's not just a little bit. And now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this dry. And once dry, then we are going to start with our highlighting. So again, this here is kind of like a big waiting game, because you just have to wait until everything is all dry, and then you just proceed from there. So I'll be back momentarily after everything is dry, and we'll continue on with the highlights. It is all dry and ready for my highlighting now, so you can see all the wash. Brought out some nice textures there on the base. Just turning it around like so. So for this highlighting, I think I'm going to start off with the green cloak. And for highlighting the green cloak, I'm going to use Warboss Green right here. And it just, I'm shaking the paint, that's why you can see and you can hear my voice is kind of stranger than what it usually is. But in either case, with the green, I'm just going to basically throw some simple highlights onto his wrinkles, like you can see here, and you know, kind of pretty much the same thing what I did in my last painting tutorial, or Paint With Me series. It's not a tutorial, I keep saying tutorial, but my skill level is not good enough to say tutorials, because I need to get a lot better at doing my painting before I can say like, hey, follow me and I'll teach you how to paint. I'll teach you what not to do possibly, but other than that, that's about it. Like, my painting is okay. Like I said, I'm happy with the where I'm at with my painting. I keep knocking myself down, but honestly, I'm okay with where I'm at with my painting. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, I stopped painting for a second. I'm just trying to get my paint out of my pot, because it's kind of at the end of it, so I had to pick it up slowly. When I say pick it up slowly, I mean like go to the bottom of it and scrounge it out. So again, yeah, I'm just highlighting basically where I think the lights will hit. And just going from there, you can see just very, very, very little highlighting I'm throwing on here. Because I don't need a whole lot for this. I don't think I do need a whole lot. Like, I'm happy with it like it is, but I highlighted the other miniatures, so I gotta try to keep suit and match up. And that's what I'm doing there, is just trying to keep it all exactly the same. I said this before in other videos, and I'm going to say it again, and that is, if you have any tips for me, please comment down below, or, you know, send me an email and say like, hey, this is what works for me, because this is the way I'm going to learn, is by just watching other people paint, or even following their suggestions, trying it out. I will find what works for me, but what works for you is probably going to be working for me too as well. And you can see I'm just still going through the highlighting process here now. Just parts of the cloak where it's kind of raised a bit. I'm imagining he's standing in front of a light. This is where everything is kind of that much more brighter. Like so. I have this elbow and part of his forearm a bit. It's all just very subtle, and I'm okay with that for the highlighting of the cloak. So next, or not the cloak, the jacket. I'm thinking cloak because that's what we're going to highlight next, is the pants and jacket with the same color. When I say same color, I mean the same color highlight. So this is Gorthone Brown, and I'm going to highlight both the pants and the cloak with it. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a shake here. Open it up. And I'm not going to dilute this. I'm just going to keep it like it is. And just do some little bit of highlighting here and there. On camera would be better. So again, just a little bit here. Hopefully you can see the highlighting there. God, I'm getting quiet again. Uh-oh. I don't like that. Can't have quiet. Nope, no quiet. So again, just touching up the pants just slightly. Now I'm doing the cloak, the front of the cloak, just to highlight. We can get some stuff onto the cloak. Like his wrinkles and the shoulders a bit. Turn this way slightly. You can see them wrinkles. There's a natural highlight on there anyhow because where I got the way the lighting, it's hitting it, and that's what it does. I'm just italicizing it a bit. So to the back now, continuing on with that highlight where I threw it at. Hopefully it's going to be in focus. Try to keep it as simple as possible for me for highlighting. See here, has a little bit of highlight going up. Use my finger to dab it down slightly. Just like so. And again, where his backpack is underneath his cloak. It looks like it's underneath his cloak to me. So that's why I'm just trying to paint it up like this. So quiet now, it's not like me. Ooh. Yes, I'm making some noises. Scary noises, ah, you're scary. Not really. So now I'm doing his hood. Just bits of his hood, bringing it out a bit. That, and continuing on, it's part of his cloak here. Just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to highlight him, and I'll be back after I'm done highlighting Mary's cloak. Highlights on the cloak are all done. I'm happy with this. Showing you a little bit there. And now the next thing I'm going to highlight is his sword, and I'm using Rufang steel like I always use. Well, for these painting with me anyhow. So again, I'm just repainting it, kind of leaving little spots here and there where the wash is. Like, there's some artists out there, miniature painters, and the way they paint the blades are so incredible and so realistic. It's just crazy how the detail and how they get it to look so great. If you have any pictures of any of the miniatures you painted where they have swords and you want to show them off, just send to me at BoardGameManiacs@gmail.com so that I can take a look at them, or you can just comment down below too as well, because either way it's pretty interesting and I would like to see them. So you can see there, I kind of just highlighted his sword just slightly. And, you know, the only other thing I'm going to, I like the way his hair is. I'm not going to really highlight his hair. His face turned out okay. I'm not going to highlight his face anymore. So the next thing is just taking some gray, it's a dry, it's Longbeard gray, and I'm going to go on the base to finish it off. So I'll show you, this is the Longbeard gray. It's a dry, so it's meant for dry brushing. And we're just gonna go from there. I'm just gonna keep rolling while I clean up my area so I can start on that. So I'm just gonna open this up. You don't have to shake this because it is dry. And I got a piece of cloth here so that I can use to brush off the excess. So I'm just dipping it into the dry pot, the Longbeard gray, getting some onto it, and then I'm just rubbing it all onto the cloth so that I can get most of it off my brush, and then just being very gentle and just going over it and kind of bringing up all of the textures of the sand. Pretty simple. Just like that. All right, I'll be back and just gonna throw a little more dry brush onto it, and then I will be back after that and we'll just paint the base, the rim of the base. You can see it's all done dry brush, and I also threw a little bit of the Longbeard gray dry onto his cloak and that, just slightly, just to bring it up a little bit more, as you can see there. And the last thing to do is I'm going to take the Minotaur, it's the leather color, and I'm just going to paint the base around the rim of the base, I should say, same as what I did before. So I'm just going to grab him off his base and take the Minotaur on camera and then just paint it. You know, because this here is an airbrush color, it is definitely going to need 2 coats so that it will cover up all of the tan from the base. So after I do that, I will be back. That's right, back. And there you have it. All of the hobbits are finished for the Games Workshop game Lord of the Rings Quest to Mount Doom. So next video, what we're going to be painting, whoops, is going to be none other than Gimli himself. He's kind of out of focus there because he's not on the same plane, but let's put him behind here. But it will be Gimli. That's who we're going to paint next. I did say it was going to be Gandalf the Grey, but I'm going to paint Gimli next, I guess. And we're going to go on from there. I hope you're enjoying this paint along with me. And I certainly like it. I'm learning as I go along. And also, as I said before in all the other videos, comment down below. Give me your thoughts about these videos. Comment down below and let me know some painting tips and tricks, or some YouTube channels that I can follow for some painting tutorials too as well, to help me try to improve on miniature painting myself, because I'm pretty much enjoying this a lot. Not pretty much, but I am enjoying this a lot. And the more I'm painting, the more I'm learning. And if there's enough views and comments and everything onto these Paint With Me sessions that are up on our channel, I'm going to do some more painting tutorials and paint more miniatures from different game sets from different companies, and just keep putting them out there month after month after month, and also doing some live streaming too as well, because I love hearing from you, the viewers and subscribers. Without you, Board Game Maniacs would be nowhere near what it is today, and it would not be able to continue to grow without your support. So I thank you very much from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. And very importantly of all, a big shout out to everybody that has been subscribed, and my Patreon subscribers too as well. You can always look up Board Game Maniacs on Patreon. You can donate to help keep the lights on, to help get more paints in, more games, more miniatures, and keep this channel rolling and getting bigger and bigger as time goes on. So thank you very much, and until next time, Board Game Maniacs, be a maniac. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to keep up to date with Board Game Maniacs, click on the like and subscribe button to be notified when more videos come available. If you want to become an official sponsor of Board Game Maniacs, go to patreon.com/BoardGameManiacs. Or you can go to streamlabs.com/BoardGameManiacs1. That's right, and you can donate to help keep the lights on, keep food in our bellies, and play more games. We'll purchase more games, more equipment to make Board Game Maniacs evolve and get bigger and larger. Because of you, the viewers, I thank you from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head for all of your support. And until next time, Board Game Maniacs, be a maniac.